welcome to the Mega Football Pikum. We've got a guaranteed prize pool of at least £1,000 for those of you that make the best predictions and a whopping £1 million jackpot for anyone that manages to get everything right. So if you want to be in a chance of winning the big money, keep watching for my tips and some stats that might just give you the edge. And this week we're giving all new players free entry and a free chance to win that £1 million. All you have to do is make your predictions and the entry will be on us. So the big news this week, well, that's coming up at the end of the show. But in other news, are you one of those nutters that was up in the early hours of Sunday morning sending and receiving texts to let the whole world know that Ramos had got the chop and that Harry was on his way to the lane? Just a few hours later, Spurs went on to record their first win of the season. Now they're just 2 wins away from mid-table. Is the crisis over? Maybe not. Check out the look on ex-Spurs player Peter Crouch's face at that draw with Fulham at the weekend after he just found out that Harry had gone. Ooh. Now, one big match of the weekend is when Spurs host Liverpool. The question is, will Harry be able to work his magic over Rafa's boys? Because Liverpool have dominated this fixture in the past. I think that Liverpool really do believe that they're going to be winning the title this year. They're playing as a proper team this season. So I don't think Harry's going to have the edge on this one. Now, one of Liverpool's new signings this season, Robbie Keane, returns to his old stomping ground. The question is, will he net a goal against his old club? Well, players do have a tendency to score. Jermaine Defoe did score at Fratton Park for Portsmouth against Spurs. I'm thinking Robbie Keane will be desperate to get his first Premier League goal for Liverpool, and he'll manage to put one past their keeper. So how many shots will be on target? There is an average for Liverpool, 4.7 shots. Spurs have managed just 3.3, a very, very low average for Spurs there. Compare that to Chelsea, because they've managed twice as many, 6.6 for them. I'm thinking that the total shots on target for this match will be 9. Now, the next pick on this game is, when will the last goal be scored? What minute will it be? Well, you might be surprised to know that half the Premier League games last weekend all had a goal in the last 5 minutes. The average time of the last goal was 74 minutes. I'm thinking for this game it's going to be a little bit later than the average. I'm going to go for 76th minute, and I'm going to say that's going to be the Robbie Keane goal. Well, the Premier League is a league of late goals, and nearly half of both teams' goals coming in the last 15 minutes. In fact, Liverpool have the same number of goals in the last 5 minutes of their games as they do for the whole of all the 9 first halves played this season. So maybe you want to make a decision and pick the very late minutes of the match. Defending Premier League champions Manchester United take on the fairy tale of the Premier League, Hull. If you're brave, here's some fat to chew on. Hull are 5 points clear of United. Can you believe it? I don't think many Hull fans would be thinking their team would be at the top end of the table, let alone in 3rd place. Level on points with Chelsea, just separated by a goal difference. This time last year, they were in the bottom 6 of the championships. And this time, 10 years ago, they were at the bottom of the lowest league. Well, it certainly is a fairy tale for Phil Brown's men, and so many games have been played that it can't just be based on luck. But surely the dream has to end, and I think this match is when Phil Brown and his men are going to wake up. So who do you think will win? Hull do have the best away record in the entire league. They've played 5, won 4, drawn 1. They've got a goal difference of +6. So apart from Chelsea and Liverpool, they're the only team that remain undefeated away from home. So what do you think the winning goal margin will be? If you're feeling brave, you'll like to know that Hull's 6 wins, 5 of them have been by just 1 goal. But don't forget, this game is at Old Trafford. Manchester United can't afford to drop any more points if they want to reclaim their title. I'm thinking the winning goal margin will be 3. So only 4 wins for Manchester United this season, the goal margin being 2. But if you do think it's time that Hull are in for a spanking for one of the Premier League top boys, then you might like to know that last season Manchester United had a goal difference of 4 or more in 7 matches. So with both teams desperate for the points at Old Trafford, how dirty do you think the game's going to be? How many yellow cards are going to be awarded? Manchester United have notched up 18 yellows in their 9 league games, which makes them the 2nd dirtiest side in the league. You might be thinking 2 or more here then. But they have only committed 111 fouls, which is way less than the dirtiest team in the league of Blackburn. They've got 22 yellows for 137 fouls. So you might think United don't deserve their dirty title and go for just the 1. I'm going to go for more than just the 1 yellow card. Wayne Rooney's temperament had been a little bit better of late, but we saw he kind of went back into his old ways, kissing his badge at his old club Everton at the weekend, and I think there's going to be 3 yellow cards for this one. In the other game, Roy Keane's Sunderland travelled to Stamford Bridge. Can Big Phil get back to winning ways after their defeat to Liverpool? How many goals are going to be in this one? Chelsea averaging 2.1 league goals per game. Sunderland averaging less than that, 1 goal per game. Chelsea have only scored 8 goals in their last 5 home games this season, whereas Sunderland only conceded 1 to Arsenal and 1 to Liverpool this season. So maybe their defence is working well for them. I'm predicting there's going to be a total of 3 goals in this one. To help you on your way, here's some little tips. You can see in this graphic the total number of goals per match in their last 4 meetings. The most of any match was back in January 2006 when 3 goals were scored. What do you think it's going to be? As I said, I think there's going to be 3 goals in this one. So how many shots will Chelsea have on target? They did look quite ordinary against Liverpool last weekend. I do think Big Phil's a good manager. He's going to have his team chomping on the bit to get a result. So I'm going to think that they're going to have 8 shots on target. My predictions for all the other picks in this Pikum are coming up in just a second. But if you want to enter this week's Mega Pikum, do fill in your predictions and click submit. We're giving away free entry to all new players this week, so it won't even cost you a penny. So make sure you have a go and test yourself against myself, your friends and all the other players by logging in after the weekend's matches. Before we go this week, we want to pay tribute to a record breaker that sadly passed away on Sunday at the grand old age of 86. So please join me in observing a minute's silence for Chelsea's record. Well, you might go on to win the title, but we broke your record at Stamford Bridge. Unlucky.